Joe Pugh for Boxing UK in association with Supreme CBD, joined once again by head of Sky Sports Boxing himself, Mr. Adam Smith. How are you, Adam?
Very good, Joe. How are you? You well?
I'm very well, thank you. Glad to be here today at the Riakpur Juma final press conference. Two fights become one on this card. Obviously, it was meant to be Riakpur, Turchi and Juma Luau. A great fight on Saturday night.
I think it is. Fabio Turchi, very good opponent, and I think that was perfect a few weeks ago for Richard Riakpur, and we had Mikel Lawal against Dion Juma. As you know, in boxing, things change, and things changed pretty dramatically. We lost two opponents, and Ben and I chatted, and we made the decision very quickly to go for the best possible main event we could. I think it's a very dangerous fight for the pair of them. I'm really pleased that Richard and Dion have taken the fight. And I think the fans are the winners, because I think it's got everything. It's a domestic dust-up, it's got rivalry, sort of Battle of London, and I think they're two quality operators. They've sparred before. Dion felt he got the better of Richard. Richard's had the momentum in his career. Dion needs a break, an opportunity. Here's the opportunity, and I think it's going to be a fantastic fight. And it's a great night. There's some other really good matches on the card. And I'm pleased about March 26th. I think it's going to be good at Wembley.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll agree. It's a stacked fight night. So many of the kind of new crop of Sky Sports fighters with the Boxer stable. For you on Saturday night, who would you say is your pick to go on and have a massive year for the rest of 2022?
Wow, that's a big ask, because there's a lot of fighters on the bill. I could pick one of many. I'll go with Caroline Dubois, because I think that she is going to make a massive difference to not just to boxing and sport, but to Britain with what she does. I think she's an absolute superstar. I think she's so talented. I think she's a baby. She's going to grow, and she's going to be a fantastic advocate for our sport. How quickly she'll move, it's going to be difficult to match her, but I think she's going to get onto that world stage pretty quickly. Adam Azim looks fantastically exciting to me. Terrific protege. He's got to step up against Conor Marsden, Southern Area champion, which I think is a really good fight. So, yeah, those two. But also, I like Joe Pigford. I like Congo. I like Chelly. I like a lot of them. Shannon Ryan's interesting. Tony Professional. So there's, it's a stacked card. And the key with us at Boxer is that we select a real diverse group of men and women, and we've got a strong stable to go forward with, but not too big a stable, so we can really sort of concentrate on developing these fighters at the right pace, giving them profile, and utilising our platform and our arsenal in the right way at Sky.
It's the first big Saturday night fight night on Sky Sports since that night in Glasgow. Obviously, that night you were so vocal about the decision. Is there any concern going into Saturday night that there may be kind of incompetence with the British Boxing Board of Control going into Saturday night?
No, not at all. I think the British Board are the best in the business. They've been fantastic for the sport for so many years. Robert Smith and his team. They've had an investigation internally. They've dealt with what they feel within John Lewis. Some people felt that it's the right thing to do. Some people felt they weren't hard enough. Some people, it's always going to be subjective. I think the key with Ben and I is that we want to look forwards now. We want to work to the future and to see how we can help make the sport better. And if that's us sitting down with Robert and providing ways that we can move forwards, and whether that's technology or whether that's different thoughts of how fights can be looked at and assessed, or whether it stays as it is. I think that's debate, and it was in our eyes it was a decision which shocked us up in Glasgow. We felt Jack Catterall won the fight. I've been back and forth a lot with Josh Taylor about it. Josh still feels very strongly that he nicked the fight. I think there are some people that feel that it was closer than maybe some did. Some people felt it was wide. The Boxing News are pretty harsh on the fact that it was, very wide, and so were most people at ringside. Look, I think we've sort of been there. We've done that now. Josh got the rub of the green. He kept his titles. He moves up anyway to 147. Jack Catterall will come again, and it was unlucky for him that night, but he boxed brilliantly, and I'm sure he'll become a world champion, and I'm sure Josh will go on to do great things in the welterweight division. I think the weight was partly it, but I thought Jack boxed really well. And as far as the judging goes, we'll be looking at ways. No, we can't change it. That's up to Robert and the team at the board. But we'll be looking at ways we can help them. And if they want to sort of, they're asking for ideas, and we'll look at innovation and technology. And Ben and I are working on a few things together, and we'll hopefully have some news soon on that front.
Brilliant. And obviously, over the past couple of weeks, there've been a lot of speak about Hearn invoking the rematch clause against Brook. I just want to get your opinion on this, Adam. Is this a rematch that you think will happen? And if so, is it a fight that Sky Sports and yourself can still get behind?
It's a very good question. I don't think it will happen. Having spoken to Amir and his team, I think, look, he might want to fight on. That's what Ben believes, and we'll have to wait and see. The respect to I think before pretty emphatic, wasn't it? Amir was beyond brave, and I think that was in many ways sort of the perfect end to that story. Never, we can about the fighters, and I like the fact camera after the Taylor Catchwell fight and said what he believed, and I think that's great. Be very powerful in the sport. Charisma and the way that he oriented it, isn't he? And Frank very similarly, very, very good. And Ben is he's a very bright guy, and he's articulate on camera, but he's not got that same sort of wish to be in front of everything. He's got a great team, and we're enjoying working together. And it's a building process. Ben's young. He's had a few years in the game, but not at this level. I think he's done really well in the first 6-8 months. He's listened. He's adapted. He's come up with some great ideas. He's put a fantastic February on alongside with our colleagues at Top Rank, and obviously with Chris Eubank alongside Wasserman too. So it's a learning process. He's not going to be as experienced as an Eddie or a Frank or a Bob Arum or a Don King, or still going strong. I see, that's unbelievable. But he's going to make his mark, Ben, and I'm very excited about it.
I'm sure you'll agree that the whole British boxing scene on a broadcast level is growing tenfold. Obviously, you've got Probellum coming in with Discovery Plus. You've just had the first show on Channel 5 announced with Wasserman. This week, for example, we've got a date clash. Obviously, you've got Josh Warrington in Leeds. What's your thoughts on date clashes in boxing?
It's not ideal. It's not ideal at all. I worked with Josh Warrington and Kiko Martinez, as you know, for many years too. I wish them both the best of luck. I think it's a great fight, and it's a shame because we've got a fantastic fight night as well here. As I said, not ideal. Rare that it happens. Neither side, neither broadcaster wants it to happen. But ultimately, sometimes you've got to book venues, and this was booked a long time ago, Wembley, and we go with that. So it's a shame, but I'll be keeping an eye on what happens in Leeds, and I'm sure they'll be keeping an eye on what happens here. But we've got to concentrate on our business, which is the Sky business and the Boxer business, and look forward to our show on Saturday night. But of course, I wish Josh and Kiko all the best. I'm sure it'll be a good one.
And last one from me, Adam. It's looking like AJ Usyk can finally be made, obviously, after everything in Ukraine, which is obviously bigger than boxing, which has been spoken about so much now. But how confident are you that this fight does land on Sky Sports, and not just the Usyk fight, but AJ fights in the future, heading into what looks to be the final weeks in negotiating a deal?
Yeah, I mean, firstly, our hearts obviously are with the humanitarian situation in the world at the moment, with what's happening in Ukraine. Our fighters have been on the front line, Vitaly, Vladimir, our good friends, Vasily, and Alexander Usyk. And I believe that, from what I'm hearing, that the ministers there said that they'd like the fighters to go out and spread the good word for Ukraine and carry on with their careers. And Vasily, I believe, wants to stay in Ukraine, and I think Alexander might choose to fight. If that's the case, we'll obviously welcome him back. And that looks like that AJ won't then have an interim fight. He'll go straight into it, and if that happens, it's obviously a dangerous one, but it's one that he wants. And hats off to Anthony and to Angel and the team for going straight in if that's the case. But we have to wait and see. Freddie Cunningham will be talking to the Usyk team. As far as Sky go, our negotiations continue. I remain very positive, very confident that Anthony will continue with Sky and finish his career with us. We have a brilliant relationship. We've both been excellent for each other. He's been a wonderful ambassador for Sky, and I think we've been very good for him, and I don't see why he'd want to go anywhere else. So let's see. Nothing's definitive. No pen to paper yet on either thing. So a few spinning plates, but hopefully they'll land in the right way.
Fantastic. Adam, thank you very much for speaking to Boxing UK. But hopefully we have a fantastic show on Saturday night, and I'll speak to you again soon.
Absolutely, whenever you want.
Cheers, Adam.